So, we've got fresh leaks on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and they tell a completely different story about the big upgrade we thought was happening. Plus, there's more news about the reality of the S26 Pro name change. Let's jump right in. Until now, leaks said the S26 Pro and Edge were getting a 300 mAh bump, while the Ultra kept its 5000 mAh cell but was finally supposed to get faster charging. But here's the catch. The S26 lineup showed up on 3C certifications. And the numbers tell a completely different story. Last year, the S25 Ultra had the same certification values, which means the S26 Ultra is still stuck with 45-watt wired charging. And it's the same situation for the S26 Pro and S26 Edge. No upgrade at all compared to the S25 and S25 Plus. Bottom line, the entire S26 family isn't getting a wired charging upgrade this year. And honestly, that's just disappointing. Samsung hasn't upgraded its wired charging since the Note 10 Plus. That's 7 years ago. Even Apple, yes, Apple, stepped up charging speeds with the iPhone 17 series. And for the first time ever, the iPhone 17 Pro Max actually has a bigger battery than Samsung's Ultra. That puts the S26 Ultra in a really awkward spot. There is one potential silver lining though. The dummy units of the S26 series show support for Qi 2 magnetic alignment, which could make wireless charging faster and more efficient. That might ease the sting, but let's be real. Samsung's making a huge mistake by holding back wired charging. Sure, the S26 Ultra is slimmer, but the camera bump this year is twice as thick as the S25 Ultras. Speaking of cameras, we now have leaks of the protective films for the S26 family. These confirm both the S26 Pro and Ultra are in for a camera redesign. With Samsung dropping the base model for a new Pro, a lot of us hoped for a real Pro experience, like Apple and Google give. Pro cameras in a smaller package. But based on the leaks, that doesn't look like the case here. The S26 Pro is only getting one major upgrade, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera, matching what the S26 Ultra has. The main sensor is also being updated, but it's still sticking to 50-megapixel resolution. That's not very pro when you compare it to the S26 Ultra's 200-megapixel sensor. And the telephoto? Still the same old 10-megapixel sensor Samsung's been using for years. On top of that, the display is still capped at Full HD, while many Chinese brands are already giving higher-res panels. All in all, the S26 Pro feels more like a slightly upgraded standard S26. Bigger screen, bigger battery, new design, but nowhere near Pro. Now, moving on to the S26 Edge. The leaked camera protective films confirm that giant camera module we've already seen in renders. And yes, the S26 Edge is also getting a nice upgrade. The ultra-wide camera jumps from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels. We've also seen leaked protective cases for both the S26 Ultra and the S26 Edge. And here's the interesting part. The S26 Ultra case doesn't show a magnetic alignment ring. That could mean Samsung might ditch the built-in magnets on the S26 Edge, just to keep it slim. But don't worry, there's still more to come. According to fresh leaks, the S26 Ultra's display will have some surprises. And there's another so-called upgrade that honestly feels more like a downgrade. I've covered both of those in detail here. This is Techtics, and I'll see you over there.